Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the B Reactor National Historic Landmark, one of the features of the Hanford unit of the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. My name is Justin Raffa, Artistic Director of the Mid-Columbia Master Series, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you to our third annual concert experience here as we commemorate the 75th anniversary of the creation of the Manhattan Project. To begin tonight's program, I'm very pleased to introduce Park Ranger Becky Burkhart, Hanford Site Manager of the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. Becky will share a few words on behalf of the National Park Service, one of our concert sponsors. Please help me welcome Becky Burkhart. This year to roll in a baby grand piano, and for acquiring the docents to serve as your escorts tonight. We are grateful to Colleen, her team at the Hanford Unit Visitor Center, and the B Reactor staff here on site from Mission Support Alliance, who have graciously welcomed us into this magnificent facility and have allowed us to make these concerts possible. Thank you to the Department of Energy for serving as our original partner and concert sponsor. Before we begin, we ask that you take a moment now to please unwrap any hard candies and be sure to silence your cell phones, watch alarms, or any other electronic devices that make sound. As you can see from the cameras and the microphones set up throughout the room, tonight's program is being both audio and visually recorded. There will be no intermission, and we ask that you hold your applause until the conclusion of the program. Should you need to leave the room during the performance, please wait to do so between musical numbers. The duration of the concert is 70 minutes. Because our presentation of the Star-Spangled Banner is given tonight within the context of a historically themed concert program, we invite you to remain seated during its performance. All of the song lyrics and translations are provided for you in your concert programs, as well as some historical context for each piece. If you have not done so already, I encourage you to read them and invite you to follow along as you see fit. And as tempting as it may be to capture your own photo and videos on your phones during the performance, we ask that you please refrain from doing so as to avoid distracting your neighbors who are sitting in such close proximity. Photos and video clips of this concert will be shared through our Facebook page and on our website. And now, together, let us look back on time with kindly eyes. September 29, 1938. Leaders of Germany, France, the United Kingdom, and Italy signed an agreement in Munich with Adolf Hitler, permitting Nazi Germany to annex portions of Czechoslovakia. This act of appeasement ultimately failed as Germany continued to expand its reach by occupying additional neighboring lands. On December 17th of that year, German physicists Otto Hahn and Fritz Strassmann discovered the nuclear fission of heavy elements, specifically uranium. On August 2nd, 1939, Hungarian physicist Leo Szilard wrote a letter signed by Albert Einstein to U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, warning that Germany might be on the brink of developing an atomic weapon, and urging that the United States start its own nuclear program. 1 month later, on September 1st, Nazi Germany invades Poland and begins the conflict that we today call World War II. Einstein's letter would not reach the president's desk until October 11th. Soon after its receipt, FDR authorized the creation of the Advisory Committee on Uranium. This committee later evolved into the National Defense Research Committee on Uranium, or NDRC, in June of 1940. A year later, on June 28, 1941, Roosevelt signed Executive Order 8807, creating the Office of Scientific Research and Development, or OSRD. The old NDRC Committee on Uranium later became known as the S1 section of this new OSRD, and dropped the word uranium from its name for security purposes. After the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, President Roosevelt officially pronounced December 7th, 1941 as a date which will live in infamy, and asked for a declaration of war on Japan before a joint session of Congress the next day. On December 11th, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States, and the U.S. responded in turn with its own declarations of war against both powers that same day. The Manhattan Engineering District, formally established by mid-1942, was meant to appear to outsiders as handling work in the New York City region. In reality, the Manhattan District, or what we today call the Manhattan Project, had no real geographical boundaries, and U.S. Army Corps of Engineer Planners knew from the beginning that the work of producing an atomic bomb would take place outside of Manhattan. The project established 3 primary sites across the United States:
The first, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, home of the uranium enrichment plants K25 and Y12, the liquid thermal diffusion plant S50, and the pilot plutonium production X10 graphite reactor. The second, Los Alamos, New Mexico, site of Project Y, the top-secret atomic weapons laboratory directed by Dr. J. Robert Oppenheimer, where the gun-type uranium-based Little Boy and implosion-type plutonium-based Fat Man atomic bombs were produced. And the third, Hanford, Washington, home of the first full-scale plutonium production plant, the B reactor. Thank you for being here with us tonight to support live choral music and to look back with us at a time that changed the course of human history forever. We hope that you enjoyed the program. Thank you.